Right, so the last time I was in the orchard we had a no weather day. Well, we've had a lot of weather since then. It's windy today, we're a bit sheltered here in the orchard, and you can see we've had a little bit of frost as well. The miscanthus leaves are dying off. Not too much frost, a little tiny little bit, hardly even below zero. But we have had a lot of wind the last week, and one of my apple trees has come out the ground. That one wasn't awesome in the first place. I did have some crops there, but it's not looking good, is it? So I'm probably going to have to do some, well, I'm definitely going to have to do some cutting on that. The leaves are starting to come off the rest of them. But I just wanted to have a quick look at the bees and the beehives as well. See how they're getting on. They're not flying today. I think it's about 6 degrees, but it's very windy, but it is sheltered here where the bees are. That's why I put them here. Hardly any wind at all. A few things. Mouse guards. So there you go. That's what I do for mouse guards, and I only put it on these with the runways. I don't actually put runways now on my bottom boards. I didn't think the bees need them, and I think they do let the mice get in. I don't think I had trouble one year with mice in one box, but it didn't do a massive amount of damage, but it did go in, and I think the bees will deal with it if they're strong anyway. But I don't bother to put them on the others, although possibly it could get up into that one there. Now I've got these. I don't think mice can get in those there. And lids as well. Here, look, this is why you don't want to be using ply for lids. They seem to last okay with the boxes, but the lids take the weather, and it is wet here a lot. And so there's a proper lid, and then there's a side of a washing machine, which is perfect size, I find. And it's even got a lip around on 3 sides. If you take them off, you can cut the back off. So you get an old washing machine, cut the side off, and that sorts the lid. So let's have a quick look at this Varroa board. Right, there's a bit of coroplast. So you can't put it in if there's a lot of bees are there down on the bottom board, but just have a look for Varroa. See if I can put it down, make it easier to see. So not, you know, there's a bit of Varroa here. I haven't treated this hive since August, so it's going to need a treatment soon. This is a Varroa here, and another one here. So, and one there. But a lot of it is just cappings. All those big black ones there. So you can see 4 or 5 there. So I'll have a little count up and see what's there. But they've been in there a few days, so 1 or 2 drop in a day is probably normal for this time of year. When you treat, that's when you see a low drop in. I usually do a dribble. Probably do that in a couple of weeks. So here we go. Bees are not flying, although there's one just come out. We're going to have a look inside. This one's big, I know. Don't think we got enough light to see. Here we go. I'm not impressed with that. There's a couple of bees flying here. This one was quite big. There it is, but they're going up. You can see the cluster starts at the bottom and then works its way up. Oh, there's a bee looking at me. So there we go. Just thought it'd be a bit interesting to have a look at that and see how's going on. I'll try and do a video after I treat and see how much Varroa drops out. So just for reference, that's hive 1 that we looked at there. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure how many days that is. Not that many, 3 or 4 maybe. See you directly. Right, so have a quick look at this hive that I got on the scales, and I used it in the summer to measure how much pollen and nectar they were bringing in and weighing it well, I didn't do it every day, but I did it on a really hot day, and it was over 4 kilos that they put on in weight in one day. And what I did was I balanced this one off on the scales, it's balanced scales, on the 22nd of November, which was pretty much the last day. They were still flying up until then and bringing in a bit of nectar, so I balanced it off, completely balanced it, and on the back of the scales, just to counterbalance, I haven't got anything fancy, so I don't know how heavy it is, but it's a bit of a girder and an old hitch off of a 35 tractor, and I balanced it out by putting this 5-gallon drum on the top and putting water in it until it balanced. And that was, what was that, nearly 2 weeks ago. and you can see it was balanced, and I can't tell you how much that is unless I put some actual weights on it, but that's what I'll do at the end of the winter. I'll put some weights on and see how much weight they've lost. And this is a nuke next to it. There is bees in that one as well. That was a split I did off of them because they, for some reason, they requeened in September, and I wasn't sure it was going to work. So I took they requeened. They superseded their queen, and I did actually spot it before, and took the actual queen out and put into the nuke box. And I actually put some. So I split that box in half, put the original queen one side and a queen cell, because they had a few, on the other side, because this is a double nuke box. It's got a blue side and a red side, although the red side, I've shut that off now, and that queen mated and came back and was laying, and so did the one in the box. So they both successfully superseded 2 queens in September. It was quite nice weather. So then I merged those 2 together, got rid of the original queen, so I got 2 new queens out of that hive. But obviously the main hive there, the big one, is pretty weak because it didn't have any brood laid in September. It's 8 o'clock in the evening now, and I come back to the yard, and I've got this beehive on some scales just on the edge of the shed. So it is inside, but I don't want the scales to get wet. But I just got it here as an experiment, and I balanced it out this morning, and I've added 4 litres of water to one of those drums on there. They've already put on about 20 kilos in the last week, and today has been really hot, and I'm just going to add another litre now until the scales balance out. There we go. So there we go. Just balanced out, and there's what, 300 ml left, and a litre of water weighs a kilo, so that's 4.7 kilos heavier than they were this morning. Not going to be all honey, I guess, because they've got to dry it, but they've been drying from the last few days as well. So they have brought in, or dried, and net gain anyway, of 4.7 kilos today.